Hi, in this video you will learn how to edit data-driven hand-drawn charts in our graph templates. First, let us take a look at the different types of hand-drawn charts that we have in our pack. As you can see here, there are quite a few options available, and let me show you how easy it is to edit these templates. First, let me go to this chart. There are a few things that I want you to note down here. The first thing is, as you can see, every element even inside the chart has a hand-drawn feel to it. Second, we have used a hand-drawn font for all the text here, so that keeps in line with the mood or the feel that we want to create with these slides. Because sometimes you may want to create your slides in an informal way, so you get far more connection with your audience. And hand-drawn chart templates come in handy at that time. Now let me show you how exactly to edit this template, which shows conditional column chart. Now what is a conditional column chart? A conditional column chart in this case is the one where the arrow changes its color depending on whether the value is positive or negative. Let me show you how this chart is constructed, and then I'll show you how to edit the numbers. So I'm going to click on the chart and I'm going to right click here and go to edit data and click on the edit data option. As you can see here, there are yellow cells and there are gray cells. As I have mentioned before, don't ever edit any of these gray cells because these are calculations made based on the input you give here in these yellow cells. Now let us take a look at the performance numbers shown here. There are some positive values and there are some negative values as well. Probably this is about the profitability of a certain company. There are months in which there are no profits. In fact, there have been losses, and that is what is reflected by these negative numbers. Now let me make some changes to these numbers and show how the change that I make here reflects here. Let us say for the month of Jan, I want to show the performance instead of as 12, I'm going to have this as 5. As soon as I click on that, you can see that the value is changed here. Now the beauty of this is the data labels are also automatically adjusted with the hand-drawn font that we have chosen. Now let us say instead of the performance of Jan being positive 5, what happens if the performance has been minus 12? So I'm going to say minus 12 and enter. And as soon as I do that, you can see that the arrow is now in red and is pointing downwards. And what we have also done is to make sure that these numbers are not written in negatives because it's so obvious that they are below the level, and the numbers are written in absolute values, and the direction of the arrow and the color of the arrow shows whether the numbers are actually losses or profits. So that is how this specific chart works. Now let me close this worksheet and let us go to the next chart. This chart works pretty much the same as the previous one. Just to give a very quick demonstration, I am going to change one of the values from 18 to say minus 18. As soon as I do that, you can see that the direction of the arrow has changed, the color of the arrow has changed, and the number is now written in absolute values, and the chart is updated automatically. Now I close this and I move to the next chart. This one works pretty much the same way. These are all the different variations of the same chart. These other charts also work exactly the same. There is a beautiful background that is given to this chart to make this chart look very interesting. Let me quickly do some editing of this chart. So I'm going to right click on this chart and go to edit data option. And instead of say 24 here, which is shown as profit, I'm going to change this to say 12. As soon as I do that, all the numbers are recalculated and you can see a different chart here. Now let me go to another chart. This also works exactly the same. It shows target versus performance with overlapping columns. And the same is the case here. Instead of the column chart, we have a bar chart here. Now this bit that you see here is added after creating the chart. So this you need to manually move. So that is one thing that you need to remember. And this one is a very interesting one. This shows the max and min values by these arrows. Now let me show you how exactly this one works. Right click, edit data, And let us say in this case the maximum value is 31 and the minimum value is 6. Now instead of this one, which happens to be August, instead of 16, let us say the number is 35, which will then make it the maximum value above the October value. So let us see what happens to August if I change the value from the current 16 to 35. As soon as I do that, you can see that August value is updated as 35 and it shows that this is the maximum value. Now let us say the min value that is shown here is 6. Instead of that, let us say the month of November had only 5. So let us go to November and say 5, and as soon as I do that, the minimum value now shifts from here to here. Now the beauty of this is all of this is automatically done. You don't have to do a thing about it. And that is the beauty of using a graph template, and especially a hand-drawn graph template, which will really make your audience feel stunned in terms of the look and feel of your charts. Now let us go to these ones. These are all fairly simple ones. They work exactly the way that I have shown you in the earlier charts. Just that the look and feel of these charts is different. In this case, we have a pie chart once again with a hand-drawn feel to it. Now let us go to edit data and let us say the component A, instead of it being 45, let us say 54, and that makes it 32%, and everything is calculated in terms of percentages automatically. And because we have got this right on top of this beautiful whiteboard, there is an even better feel when it comes to the hand-drawn aspect. Let us go further. We have this pie with scribbled fill, and we have column graphs with stylish callouts. All of these work exactly the way that I have mentioned earlier. And even this, once again, this is editable. Instead of 8.2, let us call this 12. And as soon as I do that, you can see that the numbers are automatically recalculated and this fill is retained the way it was earlier intended. Let us go further. This chart shows price versus profit percentage as a bubble chart. As you can see here, what exactly is the percentage profit that you get at different price point is what is shown in this chart. You can always make changes. Let us go to edit data. Instead of 25, if I say 28, you can see that the bubble chart is now reworked and the size is reflected here. Now let us go to the next chart. This again is a bubble chart, only that instead of the circles, we have the stars here. Now this one is the last in the series, and you can see here there is a beautiful hand-drawn world map image that is stuck at the background, and we have these beautiful pie charts that show the percentage of sales of different products across different continents. Now these charts work exactly the way that any other chart would work. Now if I want to make changes to this one, I just need to right click, go to edit data, and instead of say 5 here, if I want to say this as 4 and press outside, you can see that this change is automatically reflected. So that is how the various hand-drawn chart templates work in our PowerPoint packs. So I hope you really enjoyed the versatility and the stunning look and feel of our hand-drawn chart templates and the ease with which you can make the editing in any of these templates. In the next video, I'll show you another set of chart templates and how you can edit them. Thank you.